Why, hello there, guys, and welcome back to yet another riveting episode of Tales from Thailand with me, your crazy, kooky host. Yes, it is Dr. Mark Sabian coming at you live from positively anything but perfect Veradero, Cuba. Yes, guys, Thailand's happiest hobo flew halfway around the world to show you guys what life was really like in Cuba, and I got horrendously sick to the point that I thought I was going to die for the first 2 weeks that I was here, and I got nothing done. All I did essentially was lie on my bed thinking that I'm going to just expire here in Cuba. Life has not been great for me lately. No, not at all. I left Thailand because life was turning to shit, came to Cuba, and it got actually 10 times worse. So, that being said, it's time for Tales from Thailand with me, Thailand's happiest hobo. Oh yes, I'm back, kids. I am back, and I'm going to share with you my own personal Ladyboy story. Everybody wants to know, Doc, come on, you've been here 3-4 years. Nobody really knows. I don't know. I can't even remember what day it is now. I'm not even sure what year it is, if you want to know the truth. That's how much I have been drinking lately to make up for, well, the complete debacle that has been my car, cigars, and cervezas trip here to Cuba. Anyways, you'll see videos about that later on. Today, it is all about my love triangle with a ladyboy and a random guy that I met at an airport in, of all places, Doha. Go figure. Guys, you have to remember, I came to Thailand at the very end of the COVID lockdowns and all of this stuff. I was lucky enough, I should say, I was approved for the STV. I did not get an STD. I got the STV, which was the special tourist visa, and I was allowed to come to Thailand and live there for 90 days at a time, which was fantastic because I could extend that out 2 times, which meant I had 270 days to enjoy the kingdom, enjoy myself. The only problem with it was you had to pay for every single thing in advance before you were even approved for your visa, which kind of sucked, but you know what? I had a lot of faith. I really did. At that point, I truly believed that my dream was going to come true. Man, dreams. Quit dreaming, kids, because shit happens that you don't even want to think about. Anyways, here is my story of Rick, the random guy at the Doha airport. So while I'm walking through the airport, you can tell that, again, this was back when nobody was traveling. So anybody that was there definitely was going to the same place that you were going to. So this guy comes over to me and starts talking to me about Thailand. And quite honestly, guys, I had only been to Thailand twice before, and I didn't know. I was pretty naive. I'll be straight up honest with you. I had no idea, especially about Phuket being the cesspool that it truly is. Even though I love it, don't get me wrong, Phuket's one of my favorite places in the world. It's a cesspool. It's crazy down there. Anyways, this guy gets talking to me, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be honest with you, back then, I hated people. I really did. Because of my job, I was just absolutely sick and tired of people. And I was not that friendly, not that outgoing. Certainly not what you see today. People meet me on the street and they're like, hey, and I'm like, I go crazy. I have a good time. Back then, I'm like, oh, man, just leave me alone. I don't want to have this conversation with you. However, being nice and still being in that whole real estate, sales mode, I took the guy's information. So we had to do 15 days of quarantine, okay? Believe me, it was absolute hell. It really was. Anyways, he's messaging me once in a while talking about, oh, I found this app called Thai Friendly. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I jumped on it, looked at it. Yeah, okay. Not a problem. Really, some pretty, I can't say girls for sure. But anyways, as it turns out, Rick is going to the same place that I am, Phuket. And he is staying in a place called My Cow. Now, My Cow is up close to the airport. And if you know anything about Phuket at all, guys, you know that My Cow is like the last place you want to go if you're looking for a whole lot of action, if you know what I'm saying, especially during the COVID lockdowns, because there was nobody there, like literally nobody there. So he got watching some of my videos here and there. And, I did this one video about how Thai Friendly is nothing but ladyboys and freelancers. And he sends me this message one day and he's like, man, is Thai Friendly really just a bunch of ladyboys? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, well, I can't find one. And I'm like, why would you want to? And he's like, that's okay. Not a problem. So he gets asking me, what's Patong like? And I'm like, well, Patong is full. It's full of ladyboys. Everywhere you go, you'll meet a ladyboy. So guess what Rick does? Moves into my condo complex. Oh, yes. So I see Rick with some really, really small, cute little girls. And I'm thinking, he doesn't like ladyboys. What's he talking about? Well, as it turns out, those are ladyboys. I wasn't really sure because I always thought that ladyboys, again, you have to remember, I'm naive, I'm a rookie, I don't know a whole lot about life. I grew up in a place called Titusville, New Brunswick, okay? Check that out on a map. There were 3 people besides my family that lived there. It was dreadful. It honestly was. So anyways, as it turns out, Rick really likes the little tiny ladyboys for a very specific reason. As it turns out, and I'm not 100% sure this is true, but I have been told by several different people that it's pretty damn accurate. For the most part, little tiny ladyboys have little tiny breasts. Why this is important? Hold on, you're going to find out, I promise. So, as it turns out, Rick is there and he is trying to be one of these day trader things, only he didn't have a whole lot of money to begin with. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't have a lot of money to lose, if you're scared to death of losing what you have as a day trader, you're going to fail as a day trader. So anyways, poor Rick was having a horrific time. He was losing money left, right, and center. Plus, he was blowing it on these little tiny ladyboys. Again, little tiny ladyboys, you have to keep this going because this is the theme throughout this story, okay? Anyways, I'm pretty disgusted at this point with the people that I'm meeting in Phuket. That's why I started doing these videos, because I couldn't believe just what a pack of weirdos. Like, it's just beyond belief. So anyways, a lot of people would ask me all the time, oh man, look, I lost my debit card, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. I got no... Just constantly asking you for money. And I knew that Rick was getting extremely low in his funds, and he was even talking at that point about how he was going to have to go home and reload. One night he sends me a message, and he's like, man, can you do me a huge favor? And I'm like, oh, man, please don't ask me for money. Please, please, please don't ask me for money. So I sent him back, yeah, sure, what? Like an idiot. He didn't want money, thankfully. However, now that I think about it, I wish he had asked for money, because I probably would have given him everything that I had at the time just not to have this experience. However, it does make a good video, so who knows? What he wants me to do is he wants me to go and pick up his friend, because he has no money to get her a Grab, a Bolt, InDrive, taxi, nothing. And he's had way too many Leos to hop on the bike and go get her. Her. That's the operative word here. Me, like an idiot, at this point I was not drinking, and I thought, yeah, what the hell? Not a problem. I'll go pick her up. So, gives me the address. I go sit outside her place for about 15 minutes waiting, and finally she comes down. And I'm going to tell you something. She was about this big. Picture this little tiny absolute rocket, about 5 feet tall or less. Maybe 40 kg, which is about, 90 pounds? 90 pounds soaking wet, just a little tiny girl. In the tightest little mini skirt that I've ever seen in my life. Now, typically, girls who are wearing skirts and stuff, they sit sideways on the bike, okay? So that they don't have to... And not this. Oh no. She hops up on the bike, like legs like this, and slams right into me. It was at this point that I realized he, whatever, was as excited about going to see Rick as Rick was about she, whatever, coming to visit him. And it was also at this moment that I realized that Rick's whole rationale behind the little tiny, not true. Not true at all. This whatever. We packing a lot more than anybody would have ever anticipated. This is all I'm going to say. So you have to picture this, okay? I'm on my bike. And I'm like this, and I have this Ladyboy who's, again, packing more than Shaquille O'Neal pressed against me, and I keep going like this, trying to get away, and it keeps coming. Now, first of all, I apologize for calling her, he, and it. It's just, I'm not very politically correct. Anyways, I'm moving like this, and it just keeps, he or she keeps sliding. Absolute worst 15 minutes of my life, because she lived 15 minutes away. I got there in 12. I'm just, oh my dear God. So I meet Rick at the resort. He comes down, he's all excited, and I'm like, I'm shaking my head, and he has no idea why I'm shaking my head. He just thinks I'm an absolute idiot, which I truly am. So anyways, I'm sitting there, and I get another message from Rick. Hey man, what you doing? I'm like, having a drink. Shouldn't you be doing something? He's like, can we come down and talk for a while? Now I realized what it was. He had no booze left, and he wanted to come down and mooch my booze. Yeah, I don't care at this point. No, this is not going where you guys think it's going. This does not turn into some wild, weird threesome with me, Rick, and the little tiny, well-hung Ladyboy. Oh, no. They just come down, they have some drinks with me, and I'll be honest with you, he, she, it, whatever, absolutely hilarious. If you get the opportunity to sit there and to have some drinks with a Ladyboy, definitely do it, because it will be one of the funniest experiences you'll ever have. This brings us to the next morning. Now, usually every time I saw Rick after one of his little escapades, he was bouncing around happy as could be, just, you know, loving life, living the best life possible. Not this morning. Oh, no. He's moving around worse than a 95-year-old man. And I'm thinking, what with this guy? So I go over, hey, Rick, how's it going? Oh, not good, not good. He goes, I'm like, what's wrong? He explains to me that she was much larger than he was anticipating, and I'm like, so what? You know where this is going, right? You get it? Why he liked the little tiny ones with the small... I'm like, dude, I can't, listen, he proceeds to tell me, and at that point, I got blacked out drunk, okay? I really did. I had to. It was the most horrific thing I've ever heard in my life, so bad that I can't even share it with you people. I wish I could, but they would demonetize me, and you guys would miss the doctor, I hope, anyways. I just wasted almost 15 minutes of your life. Do you realize that? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do apologize. Again, I have been horrifically sick. That's why I haven't been here on YouTube. I have the worst lung infection that you can possibly imagine. I'm stuck down in Cuba where I really can't get much for medicine to take care of it. I'm just getting over it now, and I'm getting into the rhythm of making videos again. There was a time, guys, I couldn't even talk for more than 2 minutes. Which for a lot of people would be nice, but for me, I need the ability to express myself with you guys. That's how I live my best life. And guys, I am definitely living my best life now anyways, because I will be heading back to my island paradise of Phuket, Thailand in just 2 days. In 2 days, I will be there. So anybody that's on Phuket, please listen, guys. It's my birthday, December the 9th. And I want to party. I want to have a good time. So anybody that's down there, please hit me up. Let's go for a beer, hit the beaches. Let's have a good time. Let's live our best lives together. Not in some weird threesome way, guys. Please don't do that to me, okay? Really don't. I'm not interested in the least bit. Again, if you're not living your best life, find out what you need to do today to get living your best life. Because again, you only have one, and anything less than the best, well, you know it. Till next time, guys. Cheers.